Alright, today I want to talk a little bit about the Burning Crusade Anniversary and just in general my thoughts on TBC. So I think TBC has been great, by the way. I've really been enjoying my experience in TBC, and I know, like on stream and stuff, you haven't really seen me play a bunch of TBC lately, and it's just because I feel like I've kind of completed phase 1 of TBC. I've never been a fan of the whole raid logging community, and like raid logging has never really been my kind of thing, or my style of gameplay, like in retail as well. The second I get to farming content, like farming raids, farming M+, I think farming is boring. Which is kind of really ironic for me, by the way, because I'm a gold farmer and I love gold farming. It's just the raid farming and farming for loot has never really been my style of gameplay. When it comes to raiding, I love progression raiding, I love killing a boss for the first time, and just that feeling of accomplishment of doing the thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, when it comes to raid logging, that's usually when I get bored, unless I'm really raid leading my own raids, and I have like a good guild community and stuff that I just want to vibe with the boys, if that makes sense. But in TBC so far, I kind of feel like I've accomplished what I've wanted to accomplish in phase 1. I've leveled up multiple level 70s, we are up to 4 level 70s at this point, which to some of you guys might not be a lot of level 70s, by the way, and to some other people it might actually be a lot of level 70s, just depends on what type of gamer you are. We've also farmed up about 30,000 gold and put all of that back into the economy through investments, for example. So I've basically set myself up now for success for the entirety of TBC. Most of my investments have already doubled in gold, some of them have tripled in gold, so whenever I come back to actively raiding in TBC, the 30,000 gold that I farmed are now basically worth anywhere from 50,000 to 150,000, depending on when I start actively raiding. Phase 2 for me has never really been the most interesting raids, but Phase 3 on the other hand, like when Black Temple comes out, that is one of the best raids of all time, in my humble opinion. The Black Temple is really iconic because, once again, Illidan Storm Rage, right? It's right up there for me in possibly top 5. It's that one and Ice Crown Citadel for sure. So going back to just chatting about TBC here, I think TBC does one thing really well, but it's also part of what makes TBC less good long term. TBC is really good at front-loading content. So what I mean by that is that it's really good at just giving you a lot of stuff to do when the expansion comes out. So you just feel like you always have a reason to log on, to stay logged in, to keep grinding. First of all, you're leveling from 58 or 60 to level 70, so 10 or 12 levels, depending on what you did before the Outlands, but those 10 or 12 levels takes anywhere from probably 20 hours to 40 or 50 hours, depending on how fast you are at leveling. And then you have professions, where you're either farming or crafting, then you're farming reputation to get into heroic dungeons, and maybe even farming to Exalted as well for those epics before doing raids, for example, so farming pre-raid best in slot. And when you have access to heroics, you're then either farming your daily heroic, or doing every single heroic every single day for the badges, and for heroic loot. Just farming, and farming. It has a lot of content to go through at the start of the expansion. You even have attunements, right? Like, first of all, the heroic dungeon attunement, then you have the raid attunement. There's a bunch of things you have to go through, and then when the raid comes out, and you enter a raid log state, you suddenly have a lot less things to do, in which case you're faced with a couple of options here. You're either raid logging, then logging out, and then you're hit with this kind of thought about, well, what do I do now? Do I play another game? Do I level up an alt? And if you're leveling up an alt, you then basically are going through everything over again. Then it's all about, are you having fun doing this? Do you want to level up again? Do you want to do professions again? Do you want to do attunements again? Do you want to do the pre-raid best in slot grind again? Or are you just going straight into Karazhan and gearing up by doing the raid? It's like, alt gameplay is not for everybody, and when it comes to raiding, for example, I've never been a fan of alt raids, so for me I like having one character that I'm raiding on and just raiding once in every single raid. And the reason why I say that this front-loading of content is both a good thing and a bad thing for TBC is because at the start of the expansion it gives everybody a reason to play the game a lot, whether you're a content creator or just somebody playing video games. It gives you a lot of stuff to do, which is amazing for the launch of the expansion. But now that we have gone through all of that, you just suddenly have a lot less to do, which, I mean, it's great for touching grass, it's great for playing other games, Crimson Desert is out now, but it just gives you this feeling of maybe it's time to take a break. Like, looking at many other content creators in the classic WoW space or TBC space, many of them have either straight up quit, they've gone to retail, they're taking breaks, or they are now streaming variety gameplay instead of only TBC gameplay. So you can definitely feel this feeling of there's a lot less things to do in the game itself compared to at launch. Now, this is not unique to TBC by any means, it happens in every video game and every WoW expansion as well, but I think it happens more in TBC than any other version of WoW, just because of how front-loaded the content is in the Burning Crusade. So personally, I've had a blast in TBC, I'm probably gonna keep having a blast in TBC as well. I'm obviously playing way more retail at the moment, because I'm also really enjoying retail, but classic WoW to me, including TBC Anniversary as well, is always just a version of the game that I can come back to at any point and have a lot of fun playing, whether it's at the start of a phase, or I can simply come back in the middle of a phase as well, and just feel like there's a lot of content you can actually do all the time, and you don't need for there to be a certain type of hype to enjoy the game. You can just vibe and hang out with the boys and do some raids, and that's actually really fun, you know? So for me, TBC has been really great, but it does have a couple of problems, and I've talked about many of these problems before, and I feel like they are just problems that are going to keep being problems as well, because number one, we're playing Anniversary, so like TBC for the second time, or I guess the third time as well, and Blizzard are a lot more hands-off right now, because they're working on Classic Plus apparently, and you're not gonna start expecting big changes to TBC Anniversary. It's not TBC Classic Plus, it's just TBC Anniversary and replaying TBC. So, for example, there's a big tank shortage at the moment. Tanks are paying, or not paying, they're being paid or they're charging to do heroic dungeons, regular dungeons, you name it. Many people have made videos in the last 2 or 3 weeks on the whole tank shortage in TBC, and this could be easily fixed by Blizzard by putting in like a bag for tanks when you can do stuff, and just giving them an incentive to actually tank content, but they're not doing it, right? Many other changes as well, like the honor point, for example. Blizzard did recently buff the honor points, by the way, which, thank you Blizzard, but it took you 2 months to do this. People have been complaining about the honor gains since the launch of TBC, and it took you 2 months to actually do something, which I think is stupid, by the way, and it just showcases that number one, the devs don't play their own game, and number two, TBC is so on the back burner that probably nobody even realized the honor point thing, by the way, until recently. Like, one employee was like, oh, let's check out on TBC. Apparently TBC is live, let's go and do stuff. And I'm all for giving Blizzard credit, by the way, for actually doing something, which is great. It is just very, very late in the honor grind. Many people right now haven't spent the last 2 months basically grinding their honor points, and it's kind of like one dude is begging for food and he's starving, and after he died, you then give him food, just to be like, oh look, I helped. It didn't really help now, did it? He's already starved. The people have already geared up. The honor point change should have been here in week 1 of TBC Anniversary, the second the complaints started happening, and the second you realize it's better to gear up honor-wise in the pre-patch at level 60 than it is at level 70, you know that something should probably be done about this. All they had to do from the start was to leave the honor buff we had in the pre-patch on in TBC itself. So that is one thing that is just blowing my mind, why it took them 2 months to actually fix that. Just showcases that they probably don't play the game, they don't pay attention to the community, and it's once again just a really hands-off project while they're working on something else. But at least they have done something now after 2 months, right? I'm kind of pissed, by the way, if you can't if you can't tell. Like, it should have been done so long ago. It's so stupid. But yeah, TBC Anniversary, has been really fun, definitely has some problems, and I feel like it's very hands-off by Blizzard as well. So it's all about just enjoying TBC for what it is and not looking for what it could be, because what it could be is probably not happening in Anniversary, but it could be happening in the future at some point if we ever get Classic Plus TBC. Like, imagine if that happens, by the way, where we get Classic Plus first, and then we get Classic Plus TBC, and then Classic Plus Wrath. I think that could be really interesting, by the way, if they go for the whole trilogy in a Classic Plus sense, but always give us an era server for every single one. So if you have Classic Plus, and then after 2 years, Classic Plus becomes TBC Plus, but you also get Classic Plus era servers, so you can stay in Classic Plus as well. And then after 2 years of TBC Plus, we then have Wrath Plus, and then we get Wrath Plus era servers. That could be really interesting, and a topic that probably should be discussed more. Either way, that's it for now. Just wanted to yap about TBC, my enjoyment of the game. Even though I'm not actively playing at the moment, I do plan to come back at some point. And yeah, like TBC to me is a game that has a lot of content to go through at the start, and has less and less content over time, but it's content you can always come back to and enjoy. So if you're playing TBC a lot, by the way, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you having fun? Have you quit? Have you taken a break? Like, what's your stance on TBC right now? Let me know in the comments down below, and thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you next time.